I'm going to have to start this one out very uncomfortably. I don't like the subject matter. I think a lot of people don't, but I have been on an AI journey because with everything that's going on in the stock market and business, I want to know what AI can do, what it is that people are perceiving AI can do. And I have had a situation where I have been trying to fix something for over a decade. And I'm afraid to admit that unfortunately, AI fixed the problem where two of the biggest brains I know couldn't even crack this nut. This is NetHeads.
System activate.
This is NetHeads.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
Transmission incoming from the big giant head.
Indeed. Welcome, everyone. Another edition of NetHeads. Hey, my name is Will.
And my name's Trent.
You want to take part in the program? Chat where you're at. That's all you can do. Hashtag NetHeads maybe afterwards. Whatever floats your boat. So, Trent, to get you caught up on what I was talking about in the very opening of the program there, what happened was, I don't know if you're familiar with a little thing that was called Smodco Internet Radio.
I've heard tell.
Yes, very intimately we're familiar with it. As a matter of fact, there was a time where I was setting up Smodco Internet Radio, and I was just like telling tales to Trent every weekend. I can't believe what's going on. I can't believe what I did this week. You won't believe it. Greatest thing. But one of the interesting things that happened, because Smodco Internet Radio launched on May 9th, 2011, was the home radio station, if you will, of Kevin Smith, internet radio station. And when they originally launched, there were two shows. There was Plus One Per Diem, and there was also Jay and Silent Bob Get Jobs. Now, somewhere around, it started in May, so I'm going to say somewhere around 4 months later, we all realized, okay, well, we do have a consistent morning show happening, but we don't have both shows. Jay Muse is sometimes away shooting things, doing things. So, Get Jobs was kind of always in flux. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? So there was a decision that was made. We're going to take the Smodco, the shows that we've got, we're going to have one show now, and it's going to be the Smodco S'morning Show, right? And somebody, for some reason at that time, decided, here's the best thing we're going to do. We are going to go back and we are going to retroactively rename all those shows, rebrand them the Smodco S'morning Show.
Right.
So fast forward to 2016, and, we're at the point now where people are like, can I hear Plus One Per Diem? Can I hear Plus One Per Diem? And I can't remember what happened, but there was some type of technology failure that necessitated us making a very rapid transition from the WordPress hosted site that we had over to a Squarespace hosted website.
Right.
And I can't remember what the urgency was at this time anymore, but I just know that I was off-site, remoting into a computer, and I kept having failures on the SQL exporting the database. Or no, I did get the SQL exported, and then I also made copies of all of the database directories or files. Okay? You're with me so far?
Yes, sir.
So I've got a SQL backup. I've got all the database files that WordPress utilized. And then I sent it off to one of the smartest programmers I know. And I'm not using hyperbole. This guy was able to make an external client for a very popular MMO RPG. Massive Multiplayer. And it was able to read the data feed. You could even implement commands, but it would always loop back information to the servers that was appropriate. So you weren't really getting caught. That's how big his brain was. And this is a guy that was doing all kinds of insane things as well, programming-wise, with Microsoft SQL.
Sure.
Or with MySQL, pardon me.
Yeah.
And so I sent it to him, and I'm like, look, here's the situation. I got these shows. They're buried in here under one name. I'm trying to get the metadata. I've got the files, Trent.
Right.
I was able to retrieve them, but they don't have the metadata. And if you're wondering what I mean metadata, I mean the show name, the show air date, the description of the show. So that way, if we were to post it, useful information goes up, right?
Right.
Makes sense.
Searchable information goes up.
And what I got back, he's like, this is the best I could do. and it was just a gigantic CSV file with all kinds of jumbled errors and mistakes. Occasionally, I might be able to identify, oh, I think this might be it. Look at the description, okay. I could filter some things out, but it was never easy.
Right.
And it also couldn't get me any closer to the goal that I needed, which is not only do I need all this metadata, but the reason why I want it is so that way I can have an RSS file residing on a server, as well as the metadata for the files, and then I can have them imported into where I needed the library to be.
Right.
Okay? And for years and years, so after 2016, every couple of years, I would come back to try and do this. We launched That Kevin Smith Club in April of 2020, and we're like, coming soon. And so every year, every once in a while, I loop back to this, meet another guy, another big brain. I send him the files, pretty much sends me back exactly the other thing that happened. CSV file, might be some information, might not. And as I'm sitting here toiling, and I don't know if you caught in the news, Trent, but the guy that I think is in charge of the government cybersecurity area or the computer information group. No, wait, which is the one that I'm thinking of? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Maybe the guy in charge of NIST, for all I know, in our government, improperly uploaded classified information to ChatGPT. Okay? So not exactly the strongest cybersecurity. So that story was in the news, and that led me to wonder, okay, well, wait a second. I don't necessarily want to put all this data up, but can I work with AI to help me solve this problem? And I kid you not, Trent, I was really on the jazz, man. One of those things where like hours go by and you don't even notice because it's just part of the process.
Flow state.
I got started with a back and forth with AI.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is the problem. This is what I want to do. This is what I have. It was able to walk me through installing the appropriate version of MySQL that I needed to run on the computer. It made sure to let me know where PowerShell was, to how to use that on the computer.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it proceeded to take me through several exercises to narrow down the data set. So much so to the point, I did not go to bed till 4 a.m. because I knew I was on the cusp. Not only did it help me identify what the show was, not only did it help me identify all the relevant metadata that I needed, this goddamn thing gave me the command to also build the RSS feed I needed.
There you go.
Even refining the variables for the different services. And then I said, you know what, while we're in here, let's do this for get jobs too, even though I still got to get those files. But that was it, just like that. In 4.5 years, AI solved for me what experts couldn't. And I have to tell you, you would think I would be excited and relieved. But now I'm just worried because when AI is better than the experts, who do we really trust anymore?
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. Kind of, you get what you pay for a lot of times, right? Like if you dumped hired someone and paid him a bunch of money to do it, I'm sure you probably would have got it like next day or whatever.
No. I'm telling you right now, these guys, I know I was touting them as experts. They really were. And they didn't dilly-dally. They didn't take their precious time, and they didn't take it seriously. Or no, they did take it seriously.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the kind of thing. It was like, well, I'm helping out a buddy, so I'll just look back on it again.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yes, nobody was getting paid. That's true.
Yeah.
And you bring up actually a very valid point. There is the potential I could have gone on to something like Fiverr, for example.
Right.
And I could have used that in order to at least try and find a good SQL person, right? That would be able to help do this for me. But interestingly enough, the way it happened, it was amazing. Because it would just be like, okay, issue this command and just give me back the data set result. Just the first 2 lines. You don't have to give me the whole thing. Sometimes I would echo back everything so it would see the whole process. And a few times like, oh, okay, this is happening because that particular command was deprecated in such and such version, so you need to use this instead.
Right, yeah.
To which point I'm like, but you're the one that told me what version to install, so why did you? But
Right, yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I get details wrong too.
No, but it's a common thing though. The any whatever format of machine learning you're using right now. It's common. Like I've been in recorded enough SQL courses this past semester to know that, like, yeah, that's just like when you don't know how to do something, that's the first place you go to get the code, and then double check it to make sure it's not hallucinating or anything like that. But yeah, I think it's just the next evolution of anyone that's using coding now is and probably I would say the most applicable form that it's used at, aside from the just sheer monotony of treating it like a human being, which I find insufferable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
hi. Yeah, thanks. Well,
No.
I'll try and get that for you as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Don't fucking talk to me like this bullshit. Like, I want keywords. Just give me random data.
It is so funny you mentioned that, Trent, and I'm going to say that because there was a certain point where I'm like, look, can we just stop with the false platitudes here?
Right? It takes so much time.
I don't need you to hype me up. You're giving me too much information. It's taking me too long to read. I don't need to know why it failed. Just give me the thing to make it work right.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's trying to make me comfortable, to make me think
Right.
that it's a real thing, to make me feel like, I'm working with a person, but I know I'm not.
But you're not. No.
No.
And that's the thing that kills me is and probably like why the times that I could use it and don't is out of just sheer like, oh God, I just want to type in 6 words and get an answer. I don't want to have to say, on this day in 1972, if I was someone who was looking for this in this blah blah blah, like I'm just no. Oh, that's
Exactly.
too much.
You're just like, look, man, I don't know where you're coming from here, but I'm going to need for you to shut the hell up and just give me what I need. Give me what I want. I mean, you wouldn't put up with this on the phone, right? You wouldn't. So
that's you know what? That's actually I never thought about that. But yeah, if you were like getting like troubleshooting or something on like IT support or whatever, no one would talk to you like this. It's insane. It's crazy talk.
They wouldn't. They absolutely wouldn't. And I don't understand why they have built this into these learning language machines. I don't understand why they put these false platitudes in. It drives me absolutely batshit, especially when I'm doing stuff at, like I just said, it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm on the cusp of doing something that, again, if you think about the time, we are talking about almost 10 years I've been working on this problem, okay? 10 freaking years. And this machine does it like that. I mean, granted, it was a partnership because, to be clear, I was telling it what I had. It said what I needed to do. I returned data sets. Oh, by the way, I just got to say, too, you really need to know what you're doing when you're using SQL commands and when you are using PowerShell. Because one of the reasons why it took so long, I know I said it was 4.5 hours, but I swear to God, it probably could have been 2, Trent. And the reason why is because my screen, the text was getting truncated because my screen wasn't wide enough. So it thought URLs were failing because it wasn't getting the information it was looking for. Data sets were extending beyond, and so it would just be dots showing that.
Yep.
So I'm like, hey, I think this is happening. It's like, you know what? You're right. It is. Let's go ahead and do this so it won't do that anymore. It's like, again, I would have thought maybe you could have figured it out. But, hey, whatever.
Well, and that's just it. Like it's only as good as the person swinging the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to know what to do with your hammer to make things happen, which, it's another reason why I should probably buy my wife flowers, but neither here nor there.
Oh, by the way, happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, hey, Trent, whatever, sure. Happy Valentine's Day to you too.
Thanks, Will.
I don't know why we're doing this now, but okay.
Well,
sure.
and happy Abraham Lincoln and George Washington's birthday celebration as well.
Yes, the combined President's Day, which by the way is about those two presidents.
Yeah.
Being
it's not
into a consolidated thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not for
all presidents.
Not all. Yeah, exactly.
No. And it's funny. Like I'd heard that before, but I didn't like. It never really dawned on me until last weekend. I was walking into the liquor store, And that's what the sign said. They were very, very specific, and we will be closed on the celebration date of Abraham Lincoln's birthday and blah, blah, blah. Instead of saying President's Day. I was like, hell yeah.
That is very detailed for them.
Yeah.
I will give them credit for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But look, neither here nor there. Like, seriously, in the situation that we've described now, Trent, where I have been able to use AI, which, by the way, one of the things that I am learning more and more about AI is that, like, the real way where it is most effective is where you are using it in this advisory capacity. But let's not forget how AI learns. AI takes either information, and in this case, I wasn't completely uncomfortable doing this because, it at that point, I'm assuming, is just referencing technical manuals and the like that have been written. So maybe I'm illegally obtaining that information.
Like it's incapable of creating anything new.
Yes. So in this case, where I'm like trying to hone down programming language to get what I want, I didn't feel as bad about it. I did not feel like I was cheating him. But like you said, if I had hired the right person, this would have been fixed. So, what does this tell us so far in this experiment? I think the key takeaway here, Trent, the key thing to remember is that in this particular instance, and actually all of them, there is a victim that still happens because there are consultants that now aren't getting consulted, right?
Maybe.
There are consultants that aren't getting paid. There are guys on Fiverr. I mean, but to the same point.
Yeah.
I could have taken the time to learn myself.
Or there are some people who that's just not an option. It's either use this resource, and there is an exchange of goods and services for it, and it's your information that you've given it, right? So like that's you gave that to it for free, and it gave you what you needed for free. So there was a mutual exchange of goods in the information that went back and forth between you two. So it will now use that information in its algorithm to go on to the next thing.
Yes, it will, and that is part of the thing. I do recognize the fact that I am also training it at that time.
Right.
But still, we're kind of at this uncomfortable moment where experts weren't able to get the job done and AI was. But if AI can't create anything new, how can I trust AI as an expert other than getting results?
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's what the this one instructor I work with all the time. She's just like, you have to know, like, use it like a calculator, because you have to be able to know if something's correct or not, because it doesn't know if it's right or wrong.
That is very much true, Trent. It doesn't. And, I think I've made it very clear that the structure of what we're doing right now has been altered. Because, again, in my exploration and in my experiments, I'm trying to see how the AI does as a content advisor, as a show producer, as a metrics expert. And the other disturbing thing to think about, because again, there's maybe somebody at Alphabet that's not getting paid now because we're not paying for a consultation, or maybe some social media guru that's not getting some ducats from us. But I am disturbed to report that last show was the first one using this new formula, this new method, this advisory, and sure enough, we have seen improved metrics in less time than the previous episode had been out. So I mean, now
again, that's it's a correlation causation thing, right? Like, is it that, or is it a combination of the fact that since something's like pre-produced into what you're going to talk about, that you're more engaged into it now, which then conveys into the content itself, so that people are more engaged with it on that end as well. It's really, you have to have a huge data set before you can say that's the reason.
And again, my data set is not that big. Genetics. Beyond the Fat Man in the chat is pointing out, what is any teacher but someone that learned from someone else? I mean, fair. True.
This is true.
It's just it only does what you can tell it to do. It doesn't remember things, and it doesn't truly learn in a process, if you will. at least not in direct interactions. So
Right.
I've been using it as a consultant to do this. I've been using it for guidance on what would make a good thumbnail, but I'm trying to avoid it making thumbnails. Because again, if it's doing art, it's just taking from something else. So I'm doing instead what I would do anyway, which is if I had an idea myself, I go out and find the elements, I drag them from other people's work into mine, change them enough so that way I can use them.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
Right? I'm just
yeah.
shortening the process.
Like the only AI that I use is when it's already integrated into an app. Be it, like taking things out of video or images or sound, anything like that. I just can't talk to a computer. I would want to blow my brains out. It's the worst.
It is the worst, Trent, because what I'm getting at with the thumbnails is that, like, literally, I have to admit, I was playing with my iPad so I could use this retro Bluetooth keyboard with it.
Oh, cool.
The 7 keys one, not an
Yeah.
and I was driving Denise insane because I'm trying to go through this what's going to be the next episode process. And those are very crunchy keys, so it's making noise the whole time. And like eventually she's just, can you go in the office and do that, please? And the whole reason why it was taking so long was because the thumbnail process, this thing goes through an entire thing. We've actually changed the prompt, dangerous, I know, mid-experiment. I still have the old version. But I changed the prompt because there were certain things that were annoying. Like, what it does is it functions off of me doing a brain dump. So I just like go off on all kinds of topics, anything and everything from the last week. I put it in there, but it was having me paste it into the prompt. And then the call to action for our sponsor, the fine folks at Sliceworks, more to come. I would have to paste that in. So I'm like, can we just change this so you can ask me what they are? And I could paste it in. It's
yeah.
Oh, that is a great improvement, Will, and we'll make this a fully functional. Shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it.
Right? I don't, please, I don't need a hype man. Just do the damn work.
Look, I've got Trent to build me up, okay? And see, maybe my animosity is just out of means of me trying to keep my spot here on NetHeads and make sure that Grok doesn't take over.
Right, exactly. And anyway, so in changing it, like suddenly the thumbnail thing went off the rails. And I'm like, no, wait, we said we weren't going to do this, yet you did it. And then it has the nerve to say, oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. You're right. And here's the reason why I did that and why it's a contradiction. Shut up. Just shut up and do the damn work.
Yeah,
anyway.
Do it.
But I get what you're saying about in apps. And here's the only reason why I can justify doing those. Let's say I'm doing something like taking a standard vertical 9x16 piece of artwork that's been produced, right? But where I put the art, I deal in squares. I deal in equal sides. So it'd have to be a 16x16. And now I'm going to do one of 3 creative things when I do that. I'm just going to take the thing and I'm going to slap it on a black background. I'm going to take the thing and I'm going to create another layer with it, expand it so it's the same color scheme and blur it, which you see a lot with vertical video that's being played on television.
Yep.
Or I'm going to expand it and I'm going to try and create something that blends in with it. Like if it has a blue background, I'm going to continue a blue diffuse to black or something, right? But sometimes these things have textures and things in them that you might want to extend beyond that. And so using the generative AI for things like that, I'm okay with. If I'm not going to have to spend like 30 minutes with the clone stamp in order to remove blemishes and imperfections in the room and what have you, that's a time saver. Again, I know it's not, but I would still be doing the labor. I'm just shortcutting it now.
Well, that, and you're paying for that service as part of the subscription.
That is very true because everything is subscription based now. Which, by the way, Creative Cloud went up this year, guys.
I know, God.
But for the considering what the software used to cost, they did find the perfect way to get me to avoid finding it elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, hey, I've still got that cracked CS5 if anyone wants it, because that was the last version.
There you go, man. Look, we still got this on the back burner just in case. But I never thought of that. You're right. It's part of the service as well. And guys, I understand completely the reason why I should be concerned about AI and built-in tools. Granted, the work that I do, I am using some filters, but I'm not using much AI because I find I get better results. But there are people that are able to take like their podcast file, Trent, and they're just able to upload it. And then Adobe Podcasts will clean it up, spit out a product, and then you can take that, throw your opening, your close on it. Bob's your uncle, you're done.
Yeah, assuming there isn't any editing involved. It's so funny because like in the past year, I've listened to like not well over, but over 250 audiobooks.
Yeah.
And the amount of mistakes that are left in finished published audiobooks is frightening. And that's with a human being there, right? And there's like, I don't know how it would ever know unless it like was following along with a text file at the same time. I don't know.
It's funny you mention that, Trent. Please allow me to take a moment to rudely identify the location of my phone, which I cannot. It's out in the kitchen. Look, I got an email about the last episode of NetHeads. An email, I could tell what was going on. It's like, hi, Will. I really loved your discussion on the latest episode of NetHeads about the fact that like the creator economy is just built on sand. And, you know, do we really own our own audience? Blah, 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 which is why I think personality XYZ would be an excellent guest on. And I'm like, okay. So now they're using AI for their marketing emails, and they asked AI to find shows that would be applicable to this and pull out some elements from the description to make it sound like you knew what happened. To sound like I actually watched this.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh God, that is hilarious. Oh dude. Oh, that is, I'm just so glad that, you know, I don't ever check email because I can only imagine the shit show of like marketing that's being used for.
But to your point, like I can't remember the name of the service again. It's not ProClip, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah.
And you know, we can take this show after it's done, upload it there, and it literally will give us a clean version of the entire podcast as well as pull clips that it think would make good viral ones.
Right. Yeah.
And you know that. Look, this past week, we had the unfortunate passing of James Vanderbeek and Bert Cord.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had a request come down from upon high saying, hey, can you pull the Vanderbeek scenes from Strike Back and Reboot for me and make them Instagram friendly?
Yeah.
Now, I could have taken those clips, isolated them, and then dropped them in. However, I know the AI tool wouldn't do the other thing that I'm going to do, which is I'm going to have to create an edit point at every single cut that's happening in the video, because I need to make sure, since I'm now I'm trying to fill as much of a vertical frame with a horizontal video as I can. So what ends up coming out is mostly square, maybe a little bit bigger. But I've got to make sure it's on the right part of the screen the whole damn time.
Right, yeah.
If Jason Biggs is talking, it doesn't make sense to have James Vanderbeek on the scene. Okay? And in some of it, I'm actually doing motion tracking and the like. AI, I don't think is the point where it can do that. So I'm still able to generate those clips. But again, that's AI encroaching on my work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you wanted to take Jason Biggs out of the scene, Premiere can now do pretty well.
Oh, wow. There's a clip going around right now about some next-gen AI product, and it's got, what's his name? The guy from Seven. Got his start in Thelma and Louise. Name rhymes with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt fighting Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah,
on a rooftop.
Yeah,
And aside from the voices being off, it's like, ooh, that's going to make people nervous.
Well, it's so funny because it's very interesting. I feel like AI people are so used to watching poor quality in its bitrate video that they just think that all video looks like that now. And so like most AI video is very like blurry, but so is most like because you're the monopoly of ISP and content provider at the same time, bandwidth limiting things that you're watching because it's not the things that they own is a problem. And so a lot of the stuff you watch is at a lot lower than what it could be seen. So you're just seeing things a lot more pixelated than they should be. Because of that, I think we don't realize what is AI. Whereas if we saw everything in its native resolution, we would pick it up like that.
I
Just
think
because
there's-
AI is so pixelated, like movement wise, whenever you see the movement in it, it looks so pixelated.
Yeah, well, it's starting to get improved, even though I will say some of Brad Pitt's punches didn't look natural. But I don't know, maybe that's the way Brad Pitt throws a punch. I've never paid attention.
Right. Yeah.
but
I'm saying, and that's to its own end. Like it's believable because that's just the way we view video now.
Dude,
Is all at like at most 4 megs a second.
I think this was like 5 years ago now, where people were commenting because they were watching How I Met Your Mother in reruns, syndication.
Yeah.
And in syndication, elements that were in the show were changing because you could tell like branding deals were being made.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they were putting this stuff in, post airing,
Yeah.
if you will. And I almost wonder if actually that was one of the predecessors that was probably more of a professional level AI product that had been released where, you spend you pay one guy however long to go through every episode and determine what the location is for things that could be altered. You log that information in and now you could just batch out replacing those elements anytime you want. You wanted to promote the latest Kevin James movie? It could.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's I even think about like because if anyone knows, please chime in and tell us because I would love to see how the back end of Amazon Prime's X-Ray, because it is so accurate as to the actors that are on screen. I'm wondering, is it based solely off of transcripts, or it wouldn't even be transcripts? It would probably have to be the script itself. But I don't know if that's readily available. Like literally, you watch anything, you want to know what's on, who the actor is that's in the scene. You go to the X-ray and it shows, and it's always accurate. I've never had it not be 100% accurate. And
Trent,
there's no way someone's punching all that in. There's no way.
No, there's not. And honest to God, you just know that feature, the X-ray feature, was invented so that way kids could have peace of mind watching movies with their parents finally. Like, oh wait, who is that? I know
he was in.
Who is that? Wasn't he in that? No, Mom, he wasn't. It's Kevin Costner, for gosh sakes. Okay, Kevin Spacey, nobody likes. You're way off base.
Wrong, Kevin.
Wrong, damn Kevin. ByteDance's Seed Dance 2 or something. Disney threatened legal action, and they have since changed the software. Interesting. Oh, that's a new one. By the way, Trent, one of the things that you never have to be boggled by and you never have to wonder about are the products that come from SliceWorks. And I bring this up because, as you can see in my hands right now, I have a brand new, wonderful shipment from them. And I will tell you the reason why. We discussed it last episode. Although the SliceWorks build plates are amazing, although they are incredible for adhesion, making sure you don't have to worry about any objects that you're printing falling off the build plate, they are a limited use commodity. They are a consumable. They do wear down. Granted, I have to admit, the build plates that I'm replacing didn't wear down yet. That's just the excuse I used because, as Trent pointed out last week, they have now a new Neo dip plate, which stands for Next Generation Epoxy Overlay.
There you go.
They arrive in a wonderful package just like this and just like you saw. And best of all, they have an amazing surface texture that gives you a great print quality on your prints. They are simple, easy to use. They're always going to come with some free swag and candy or the like. And if you have like the bamboo printers and you're getting a bamboo build plate, you see there's a QR code on there that the printer could read and know, oh, okay, these are the build plate settings I should be using regardless of what that chucklehead set in. And look at that, beautiful build plate, right? Just gorgeous. This thing heats up. The warmer it gets, the stickier it gets. So you're not going to have, look, I got to tell you, Trent, SliceWorks killed one of my printers. They killed my Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus. And you know why? Because it's such an odd build plate and nobody buys the damn thing, they don't offer one from SliceWorks. And I'm so used to how well these work. I had an adhesion issue and I had the glob of death on the end of one of my 3D printer heads. So that printer's out of commission because
it's gone, yeah.
because I've been so spoiled by Sliceworks. Now they've also got the Slice box, the subscription box. The Ultimate Pro one is the best because it's always going to come with 2 different unique filaments, solid color and at least a dual color. It's always going to come with a bonus item and candy and the like. It's a wonderful gift for either yourself or for somebody that you know that is 3D printing. And all you got to do is use the link in our bio or go to thatwillwilkins.com, click the Sliceworks link, use offer code thatwillwilkins and get up to 5% off of your purchase. Again, thatwillwilkins.com, click the Sliceworks link, use thatwillwilkins at checkout to get up to 5% off. You will thank me. The person that's a 3D printer person in your life will thank me. You will thoroughly enjoy what you can do when you've got the peace of mind of a Sliceworks build plate. You know, the other reason why I got these is because we got to go into production on the Daredevil helmets now for sale. And I've actually cracked the code, by the way, Trent, on how I'm going to do this. If there's anything that bugs me, it's having to paint too much. And I don't know if you've noticed, but in the trailers for season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, they have apparently taken his entire Daredevil costume and spray painted it black, except for the comic accurate DD on the chest.
Right.
And the helmet even has like spots that are missed. And I don't know if this is a commentary on a blind guy spray painting or what. I'm not very comfortable with my speculation right now. But it looks that way. It looks as though it has had missed areas where the black mist and the red is coming through. But if I'm going to sell that variant, I don't want to have to print a red one only to paint it to put on black paint and miss a red spot. But there's a little thing, by the way, that I like. It's called the airbrush.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing I like is the discovery of blood red matte primer paint.
Oh, yeah.
That I can throw down.
Yeah.
So I've got a black helmet printed. We're going to try some of the red primer.
Nice.
We'll do like an intense area one there and then just kind of feather out and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then worst comes to worst, I can just do a red square or triangle and then go over that area with hopefully a matching black paint that I can then kind of blend in. So those will be more about those later though. I really look forward to that. But that's the other reason why, because I got 2 of these printers for this size build plate, and I got the other one. So, I mean, one of them's dead because I'm so spoiled by these build plates. But what are you going to do? Hey, look at that. Tom Kate in the audience, another one of our Patreon subscribers.
TK, and, you know, Tom's just one of the best dudes ever. There's nothing I love better than, like, seeing people, the NetHeads family on Goodreads, and I always see what Tom's, you know, what's in his wheelhouse these days whenever I see what books he's reading, and it's always across the gamut too. Like, hi Tom, how are you, dude?
Awesome, man, awesome. Well, Trent, the nice thing is we're done with the AI speculation talk for now. We've hit the 3D printing sponsor, which means there is only one thing we could do right now, and that is roll into my favorite segment, the one that is sweeping the nation. People are talking about it, Trent. And that is where I print a 3D object.
Oh.
I present it to you, and that object asks you,
what is my purpose?
Little delayed, but okay, I'll take it.
I was there.
What is my purpose?
It was accurate. Like, because that's the way a robot would respond, right? There would be kind of like a computing. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Like AI does that, too.
Yeah,
like thinking,
exactly.
Analyzing, thinking more. Contemplating your life decisions, all kinds of fun stuff.
Silently judging you.
Exactly. So what we're doing is I am a 3D print enthusiast. There's a reason why Sliceworks actually is willing to sponsor the program. And one of the things I like to do, because I am printing something new every week, always. I think, and the idea is let's print something up and let's see if Trent can guess what it is. Now, we've had a few layups recently, Trent. We have had things that are blatantly obvious what they are, or at least close. When it came to the Labubu lockdown, you did recognize that it looked like a small shark cage.
Yeah.
And so you did, and that's what's going on here, by the way, because
they're stacking great too.
I need to install the panels so they can go up between the helmets because I'm doing another layer of the pegboard behind me. But you know, one of the things that we haven't talked about is the fact that I also got the ultimate garage fridge. We'll talk about more of that in a second. But because of that, I've had a lot of things going on, so I haven't been focusing on the pegboard wall. I've been focusing on other things, which leads me to the objects in my hand. Trent, I'm first going to show you them independent of one another. I'll give you some rotations so you can see the different angles.
Okay, yeah.
The ways that they look. Now, I will also give you this. Actually, no, I won't. I think from now on what we're going to do is I will present you the objects.
Yeah.
You can ask me cleanly
to do
things with them.
Yeah.
If you need it to make your determination. So after you've seen these, are there any special requests?
Are there two pieces, correct?
That is two pieces.
Each one is two pieces.
Each one is there is a thin piece in my left hand.
Yep.
And for those of you that are just listening instead of watching, I am holding two very long white rectangles. Okay.
They kind of look like hold on a second. Engineering rulers.
Okay, very good, very good. Except one clearly has more. This is the angle you haven't seen yet. There we go.
Let's
give you that one. Okay, so Trent.
Yes.
Based on what you've seen, do you have any special requests? Are you ready to guess?
What is my purpose?
I think that they are things to make labels for retail shelving on the front. So that if you have a shelf, you would put that on there, and then you would slide in whatever it is that you've written in between the two pieces, and then that goes on the shelf so you can see that it's the label that this and this and this.
You know what's amazing is like honestly, the past 3 times I thought this is a layup. This is a gimme. This is me just pitching a softball right over the middle of the plate.
Yeah.
Right at batting height.
Uh-huh.
And this is at least the second time where you have stunned me by not even being close.
Really?
Really. So
to me that's exactly what it looks like. It would just go right on an end cap. And that's where the price goes.
I totally get it. Now, you didn't ask me to do anything else with it. Okay?
Well, I mean, I'm already seeing you use it as a dildonic, so I don't.
Well,
need
I'm just
to,
spinning
I
it
don't need
around.
to see that.
I'm not using it actively as a dildonic. Please don't. For the audio listeners, let's not. Okay, so now what Trent is seeing is that I've taken the very thin one, and it actually slides over the top one. Would you like to amend your guess and tell me?
What is my purpose?
Yeah, now it's a cable rail.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Do I have a success sound? Let's see.
Oh my.
No, I do. Hold on.
Nice job, Cap.
Nice job, Cap, but that's not it.
Oh my God, that's nice. That's really good.
There we go. Thank you, Kevin, for bringing that in. Yeah, you're correct. This is cable channeling is all it is. Now, why do I have this? It does come back to the refrigerator. I have gotten the garage fridge of all fridges. The fact that I don't have a picture to show you is the exact reason why I'm inept at hosting a program. But this thing is ridiculous. It's 83 inches tall, okay? So it's just shy of 7 feet tall. Trent has seen pictures of it. Stainless steel door, 17.1 cubic feet inside of the refrigerator. This thing is massive. It's got 1 deli drawer. It's got 2 produce drawers, 3 shelves, 3 door shelves, and a partridge in a pear tree. But it didn't fit where I was going to put it in the garage, Trent. Didn't fit.
Oh,
Wasn't gonna work.
snap.
Had to clean out the garage, had to move some shelves, got it into place. Now, the amazing thing about this fridge, now you've seen the fridge, right?
Yes.
Quality-wise, how would you describe the fridge?
It looks great. It's what you want in a fridge, which is the basics. You don't want to have to update your fridge ever.
No. I
That's
just
one
want it
thing
to
you
be
should
cold.
never have to do.
Keep the things cold.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That refrigerator. Now, mind you, I was looking for a garage fridge. I bake bread. I need a place for the stuff to cold proof. We have drinks. We have a counter depth refrigerator. It gets filled quick when you have 4 people living in one home. So for many reasons, wanted a garage fridge. Everything I was looking at, though, even a basic apartment fridge, still is going to have a freezer on top, and the total cubic feet was going to be 14.2. Least expensive for, let's just play with numbers and say $500. For $450, I got 3 more cubic feet, $450. I got almost 3 more cubic feet. And you could say to yourself, Will, how is that incredible stainless steel doored fridge so inexpensive? It's because technically it is considered an insert model. It's meant to be built into cabinetry. You put on a false cabinet front on it. Your
Oh.
refrigerator vanishes into the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Magic.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
top heavy because it's built to be built into something.
Yep.
So I did have
gotcha.
to build a framework to go on top.
Yeah.
Now, because of where I now needed to put the fridge, I have to use the outlet that I was using to take power from to get over to my 3D printing bench on the other side. Because
Okay.
I wanted an isolated circuit that the freezer wasn't on. So that way,
Sure.
if all the
Yep.
heat and stuff that a 3D printer does
Yep.
wouldn't
If
short it out.
Yeah. If it ever trips, it's not going to trip your fridge. And then if you're not home to
Mhm.
reach, no, that makes total sense. Good, smart move.
So the thing that I then realized is, well, there is one more isolated circuit in here. That one was supposed to be for the irrigation that it never was plugged in there. And those are the outlets for the 2 garage door openers. Limited use, not a
Yeah.
major draw. So I ran my extension cord up there. But now I've got an extension cord on the roof, on the ceiling, that's got to get over to the wall, over to the corner, and come down. So I said, hey, maybe I should get some channeling. And then I said, wait a second. I've got white filament.
Yes.
I bet you there's the
Yep.
thing. And much like the when I was a child, there were, what is it called that I'm thinking of? Hot Wheels racetracks.
Oh, totally.
Which was a long piece of plastic
Yep.
that then was held together through what looked like a flat shoehorn
Yep.
that would join the pieces on the
Totally.
underside.
Yeah.
And with this, what you don't see is there is a little bit of track work at the very end of each one on the inside.
to clip into the next.
I just 3D print little like triangles that slide in to
Dude.
join them.
It's so funny that I missed it because I recently purchased a huge box of those that look like exactly like that. Like the fact that I missed it is it's
I don't know what to tell you,
unforgivable.
man.
It's unforgivable.
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna know what. I don't think it's unforgivable. What's unforgivable is me not noticing that the same size that I'm printing comes with a variance with screw holes already in it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
ask me how much of the channeling I already 3D printed. I'm gonna save you some time. All of it. It's already done. Okay, it's already done. I've blown it. I
Well,
blew
those-
it.
yeah,
now I'm
those
gonna have to drill holes or get and do a heat sink into each
or
one.
just throw some pipe coping on there and call it good. You
And
know?
let's just glue them to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I don't
Yeah.
think that it's bad enough in here. I'm putting 4 screw holes in the wall every 280 millimeters with the pegboard.
I mean, that's what drywall's for.
I still have 2 unpatched holes over here, Trent, because I had to lower the shield down
Sure.
because of what I'm doing over here now.
Sure.
So, I really shouldn't have patching. As a matter of fact, I just forgot to go pick up at Lowe's some high fiber content patch, wall patch
Oh, yeah.
for big holes.
Yeah.
So, because situation, door flung open, and now I got the hole I already fixed was knocked out even more now, like this big.
I from having made probably close to 100 trips to Home Depot this past year, I
Yeah.
do know that at least at the Home Depot, and I don't know why Lowe's wouldn't have it as well. You can buy their damaged sheet wall.
Yeah, I was thinking about
you
that.
can just go buy like a chunk of it, and then if you needed to, if it's that big, and then just cut it out and piece
Well,
it
that's what
in.
I was. That's what I was thinking. Is that I need to stop trying to fix the hole and do the other fix, which is just let's make this a square now.
Yep. Yeah.
And now let's do a matching scoring here.
Yep.
And the thing that I love is like, you know what? I'm not going to mess with joint paint. I'm
Right.
just going to make it so this piece will fit in here. And then they trim away the board and rip so that the drywall paper is still
Goes
on
over
there.
across. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what we're probably going to have to do.
Yeah.
Because cutting a circle ain't natural when you're using a, putty knife and the kind
Nope.
of thing.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, that's all of my trials and tribulations. But but you know what though, I do have, thanks to my beautiful SliceWorks Ultimate Pro box subscription, I do have a finishing tool, which is honestly, it looks like a soldering iron with different heads that you could put on it. There's an angled one. There's one that almost looks like a little trowel and different size things.
Yeah.
And one of them is just like a straight spike, almost like a soldering iron. And I could just
Oh, and yeah, you're good to
just
go. Yeah.
Throw on the old respirator mask.
Oh yeah.
Sit down for a little bit.
For the bottom
One,
plate. Yeah, that makes total
2,
sense.
1, 2. I've only got to do this 27 times. 1, 2. Yeah, I think that. Can AI do that for me? I don't think so.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh man. Yeah, I tell you, Trent, I am really starting. I've been enjoying this AI exploration journey, but it is getting scary. It's really getting scary. Like even my work openly encourages the use of AI. We all have a license for Copilot, for example. I don't think they paid for it. I think it's just part of all the other services we pay for. But anyway, it's in there.
It's part of the enterprise suite that Microsoft offers.
But the terrifying thing is the way that I've been writing these prompts, I'm always making it a consultant, and I'm also setting it up to ask me questions. And I kid you not, in writing up my semi-annual review, not only did AI know better than I did what I should be doing in my job, but it also knew better than I did what I should be focusing on in the next 6 months, for example, in my job to be successful.
Yeah, because it's seen what like positions are hiring for your job.
Yeah.
Right now, and then it's writing to that. No, that makes total sense. In fact, now I know what I'm going to use to write my performance review. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Helping friends and influencing AI.
No,
NetHeads.
it's super interesting, and I've yet to have anyone give me an answer yet on how Copilot works with companies that legally can't share any information, like the health industry and the education industry between FERPA and HIPAA, whether or not that is a closed system or not. Because like if it scans my emails and it knows that so and so is in such and such a class, that's illegal.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I'm sure it's the type of thing where, because look, man, in my day-to-day job, for those that aren't aware,
right?
I'm
no,
not
that's
just,
what, that. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not just a tech ed talking about 3D printers. And
right.
shit, okay. This is not what I do. I am actually I'm a specialist in IT security and compliance.
Right.
So very often you in corporations, there will be an IT department. There will be a special division of it that is analyzing new technologies for use, which means they're going to send out a questionnaire and they're going to get evaluations on what can be touched and can't be touched. So those type of limits are set. Like, for example, there is a resident with our business documentation and SharePoint sites and like available for as a resource to be able to use AI. And then there's external. So there's company and there's non-company.
Gotcha.
So there is that division.
Okay.
So, potentially speaking, that's how you would get around it. But in environments that you mention, whether it's like regulated markets or people that need to be HIPAA compliant and make sure that PHI is adequately isolated.
Right.
Wow, this is not the type of NetHeads anyone's used to. But, in those situations, there is heavy scrutiny. There's the high trust certification for people that do handle PHI. So that way, if you're high trust certified, people know that your level of security is up to a certain level to where your PHI could potentially be trusted. And it's more than likely going to be segmented. And the same thing with like federally approved environments like FedRAMP and the like. Those are isolated environments that meet special security criteria. So yeah, man, the whole point is if it's available and you're allowed to use it within your environment, then there should be a limited version and a full version. If it's not applied that way, that's no bueno. I'm just
right.
saying.
Yeah, but it's not my fault, right? Like,
no, it's not your fault.
And that's what I'm saying. Like don't be afraid to use it because of that. If it's part of what you've been told to use.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not your
fine.
decision. You're like, yeah.
And dude, I cannot throw a digital signature around without hitting some aspect of the software that we use that doesn't have a Copilot enabled assistant.
Right.
Even Zoom, which we communicated with, wanted me to turn on the AI assistant. What, you want me? Look, man, I don't want to waste all the power and evaporate water and consume natural resources just so some computer can know what the hell two bozos are talking about on some silly little tech podcast.
For reals, dude. We to that end, this is the warmest winter in Utah ever.
And I had some insight into that because one of the things we learned many, many moons ago is the fact that your weather and my weather is usually probably about 10 degrees apart. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know about you, we just had full summer here. You know,
Dude,
I
it's
was
it's
it
been
was-
in the 50s here, which is insane.
I was in the 60s and 70s. I've been in cargo shorts for the past 2 weeks, my friend.
It's like normally like February. I just looked it up because I was like, I wonder about this. It's our the average temperature is below freezing all
Well,
through
Trent,
February.
I wouldn't worry about it because I don't know if you heard the U.S. government said there is no
Ah.
environmental impact. There is no environmental endangerment.
In
You're
in
fine.
fact,
Yeah.
if we put more carbon into the air, plants breathe carbon. Is what the reports are saying, and so we're actually doing a net positive for plants.
Right.
by-
And if the
by
plants are making,
deregulating.
and then by the plants will make more oxygen.
Exactly.
And then, those special ozone trees,
Yeah.
they'll make the ozone.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe we should just launch all of our old hairspray cans up there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Aquanet, go for it.
Knock
know?
yourself out. By the way, this past weekend, for those that don't know, my youngest daughter is in competitive dance. And this past weekend, we found what I think is the best Dance Dad t-shirt available. Now, there are funny ones, okay? I've got one that's got a barcode and it just says scan for payment because, I'm the Dance Dad. The other one says Dance Dad, and above that it says clap, drive,
Repeat.
clap, pay, drive. Those three things. But this one was the greatest, and Denise really wanted to get it for me because of the wonderful statement of irony on it. Up in the corner, almost written in it-like text, it says Dance Dad Life or Dance Dad. And on the back, it says Dance Dad, and then bigger letters, I love the smell of hairspray in the morning. Which, when you look at me, I look like a dildo with ears. It's ironic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. It's that and napalm. They're just put you in your place.
Exactly,
Just,
man. Just they'll tell you who you are, tell you what you are. And by the way, I almost held an experiment here for the NetHeads to show them. I think I might have shown you just because of how funny it was, but I took 2 pictures of myself because I realized I hadn't shaved in 5 days. I hadn't shaved in 5 days, and then I sent somebody the pictures of it because I'm just like, this is me after 5 days. And I guarantee you, I look like somebody probably on day 2. All right? For the average male with real facial hair, 2. And the embarrassing part is it was just like mutton chops, and it's a thing. Anyway, Trent, I think the horse that's dead has said enough already. Time to go. We're done with this thing.
Ride 'em, cowboy.
Exactly. A special shout out once again to, I'll remember it. No, I won't. To Tom.
Tom Kate.
No, not in this case. It's Thomas Townley is the Patreon supporter of the week. If you guys want to find out more, go to patreon.com/netheadsonAir. Also, you can go to thatwillwilkins.com for all the relevant links. If you want to go to an outdated site, you can go to NetHeads on Air, knock yourself out. I don't know what that thing really even does anymore.
It's
It might have a broken if then.
It works.
If
I don't know. The gremlins are we scared them off.
Oh, I don't know, man. Can it truly? My favorite part is if you go to netheadsonair.com, does it actually have the ability to play the podcast episodes it ingests? See, now you're looking too.
No,
And-
yeah, because that's my
there it is.
go-to.
Well,
yeah,
no, never mind,
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, it works great.
Yeah, happy 420, everybody. Is all we can finish by saying. Really, is that what they do for the 420? Oh, okay. Look at that. You made it work. For those of you listening to the podcast, he's just making obscene gestures with his hands.
Well,
and
I was
looking through the
I
window.
was doing the Spock thing, but then I had to put a thumb in, and then it became a shocker, and then I had to make the butthole sign. It became a whole thing.
I thought you were just building 420.
Yeah, no, I was, but
Such
it,
a-
through the lenses of Dildonics, that's what it came out to.
Sweet summer child that I am, I thought he was doing 420. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Again, if you want to find out more about Trent, where can they find you, sir?
You know what? Hit me up on Goodreads. Yeah, Trent Hunsaker on Goodreads. Add me as a friend.
Adam is a friend, folks. And add me on Words with Friends. Actually, does that still exist?
You know what? I'm a horrible speller. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. I hate the Scrabbles, and I don't like the Words with
Nope.
Friends.
Nope.
Friends with words?
No.
Words with words.
My dysgraphia does not compute with that. Not at all.
I completely understand. I think I don't know. I give up. Anyway, look, man, thanks for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. Until next time, my name is Will.
And my name's Trent.
And we will be back soon. Are you getting in real close for the soon? Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I
try this
got
again.
it
Hold
for
on,
it,
let's
yeah.
get dramatic. And we'll be back soon.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. Signing off.
Resume normal functions in 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye.